Hello and welcome to my meditation. I am so humbled and grateful that you have joined me. My name is Debra Baker, and let's begin with our 3 nice, really deep breaths, breathing all the way down into your belly. Take a nice deep breath, hold it for a second, and let it out. And one more, all the way down to your tailbone. And let it go. Let's allow infinite spirit to relax our bodies. So we know that we are spirits having a human experience. So the truest part of us, the greatest part of us, is this infinite spirit that is contained, or partly contained, in our human bodies. And we, because we begin these lives adjusting to being in a human body and kind of, figuring it out, we begin to think that, or we begin our lives thinking that we are our bodies. This is what we are. And we refer to our bodies. And as we evolve, we come to realize that there's more to us. And when we experience our first death, and people say, oh, she's in a better place, or he's in a better place, and we start to think, I'm pretty sure that body in the casket there is right there. So that doesn't look like a better place to me. And so then we begin to realize that the truest part of us goes on and existed before these lives came in. Mosquito. So let's allow this infinite spirit that is our truest essence to relax our bodies, beginning with the tops of our heads. Imagine that our spirit, our infinite selves, just expands out from our bodies and relaxes us. So feel that relaxation moving through your body. Feel your jaw let go, all your facial muscles, all the muscles around your head, and feel it in your neck. Imagine that your infinite spirit is emitting out each of your cells, creating this relaxation, releasing any stress or tension. And now let's feel it moving down through our head and into our necks. Feel like all the cells in your neck, in your vertebrae, in your spine, just emitting this relaxation. I get some chiropractic work occasionally, and he has this tool that he uses that releases or reduces or something inflammation. And there's a point where my body feels it, and it just, my whole body lets go. So let's imagine that we can create that our infinite selves, which are one with infinite potential, can create that sense of letting go, relaxing. So feel it coming through your shoulders, your upper chest, around your collarbone, your shoulder blades. Feel your shoulders sink down, and then feel it move down your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, all the way down to the tips of your fingers. Moving into your heart space and your chest. Imagine that you turn on your heart light right now. We're going to be talking a little bit about self-love in a little while, so imagine that you are beginning it now, turning on energy in your heart space, allowing it to radiate out. Imagine that the infinite presence, the one presence and the one power, connects with you through your heart. And also expands through your heart. So feel your heart open up and fill your body with love. Feel that relaxation move into your midsection, around your tummy, your middle back, your sides. And then your pelvis, your hips, your lower back, lower torso, all the way to your tailbone. Feel that energy moving easily and succinctly up and down your spine and also up and down your chakras, and then feel that relaxation being released in your upper legs, your knees, your lower legs, and your feet. Let's take a nice deep breath and just facilitate that movement of that relaxation through our bodies. So we've been working our way through the promises that are offered in the 12 steps and the 12-step programs. And the problem that we are, the solution. The promise that we are working on right now is we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. And before you turn this off, let's hang on for a second. My guide suggested that we take a completely, almost backwards, an inside-out look at this idea. So lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. So I'm aware of several of you who tune in, and I would not describe any of you as selfish in the traditional sense, where, very self-absorbed and it's my way or the highway and all of the ways that we think about selfish things. But I think what I overlook is ways that I am subtly selfish, and that is by doing too much. I like people to like me. I think we all do, So we do too much. Somebody needs something done. Sure, I'll do it. You need, I sometimes volunteer for things that aren't even asked of me. And my husband just shakes his head. And so it's that you might, at first glance say, well, that's a generous thing. That's a non-selfish thing. But sometimes we do these things for selfish reasons. And I'm not judging it in a negative way so much as I want you to like me, and so I'm going to be selfish in a way that perhaps I can earn your approval. And then what happens is there's a very subtle current of resentment that gets tucked away when we give ourselves away too much and don't leave enough for ourselves. So gaining interest in our fellows means I love you enough that I'm going to be honest with you. I love you enough that I am going to take care of me. I'm going to say no when it's appropriate. I'm going to say yes when it's appropriate. So, most of the people pleasers in my life, and I have fallen into that category more often than I would like, don't realize that we're being selfish. We think that we're, being giving and loving and generous. But if we give at the expense of ourselves, we're being a different kind of selfish, a selfishness that's self-sacrificing and doesn't serve anyone. So let's just let that sit for a second, and maybe a moment of quiet to think about looking at selfishness in a different way. I really like to help people feel good about themselves. And again, sometimes at the expense of myself. And I owe people honesty. So if I give someone a compliment, and this isn't really accurate, but it could be, and that is give someone a compliment that I don't sincerely mean. Just, someone asks me, does this outfit look good on me? Because I am intuitive, highly intuitive, I know what they want to hear. And so I selfishly tell them what they want to hear because then they'll like me. And I don't think it's just psychic mediums who know what people want to hear. I think that's kind of human nature. And, but a more honest talk would be to answer with a question. In other words, maybe something like, what were you hoping to gain? Or, I think it's a bright, colorful outfit. I think it looks happy. Whatever it is, to have a level of honesty. Also trying to figure out how honest of an answer do they want. But again, it's that being true to ourselves is not selfish. I think the word selfish has gotten such a bad rap and such a misunderstanding that when we lose interest in selfish things, we think, okay, well, I'm going to, stop taking care of myself. Nope, that's not what it means. When I lose interest in selfish things, it means I'm not going to give myself away. I'm not going to put my own well-being or sense of well-being ahead of someone else's. But I'm not going to put someone else's well-being ahead of mine either. It's that idea of being right-sized, of being in the middle, of being balanced, of being loving and kind and generous to others as well as myself. Giving myself time. I congratulate you for giving yourself this time to listen to this meditation. Spending just a little time for you, for yourself. And let me remind us all that as we become more authentic, we become more true to ourselves. We don't have to make excuses for ourselves. We don't have to bend over backwards for anyone. We can be honest and stay in the middle and say, I can't do that for you now, but I love you and I would like to do something for you in the future when it works for both of us. And that's, that saying win-win. I secretly roll my eyes when I hear that, because if the other person doesn't want you to win, no matter what you do, they're not going to see it as a win-win. And that's okay. They don't have to want you to win as long as you can sense that you are equally true to yourself and true to someone else. And gaining interest in your fellows, that you can be interested in people and know what they want and need, and be true enough to both of you to stand back and allow them the satisfaction of getting what they need themselves. Sometimes if we interfere with people learning their lessons or having their experiences that bring them to a deeper understanding, we inadvertently deprive people of things that are experiences they came here to have. I've been completely channeling this message, and I'm going to have to come back and listen to it myself to and I hope that it makes sense, because it seems like such a contradiction to say we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows, and then turn around and say that means give less and take care of yourself more. But that's just that's one interpretation of it. There are lots of interpretations of everything that's written. Isn't it fascinating to see how when you have an experience or you hear or read something, you have a perception of it, and someone else might have a completely different perception because of where they are. So I invite you to honor your own perceptions. I invite you to honor where you are right now, what you understand. Honor your concept of your higher power. Whatever you think and know and believe that God or the one presence or universal life force is, honor that. That is your perception, and that's yours. And that's what you have. And that's wonderful. It's good. Another nice deep breath. I think Daisy's trying to tell us that she's ready to go in. Remember that you are whole and perfect, a beautiful soul, and that where you are right now, what you believe right now, what you understand to be true is precious because it is your experience, and it is what your soul came here to experience it. And I honor that. I honor you and who you are and where you are. The divine moving in, through, and as me honors and loves and recognizes the divine moving in, through, and as you. Namaste.